Well, the belief, Michael, is that we used to see that genes would control a cell. And if we buy that belief, then it really means that the cell is like an automatic, like a robot, and the genes just control it, so that we would then think of our lives like just a mechanical machine. And then when anything goes wrong with the machine, or if it doesn't work right, we say the genes do this. We now know that the genes do not control life, that the cell has the equivalent of a brain, and it sees the world, and as the cell responds to its own world, just like a person would respond to our own environment, the cell responds to its environment. And what the cell does is adjust the biology to match the environment. So in a healthy environment, the cells become very healthy and they grow and they do very well. But if you take the same cell and put it into an environment that's not very supportive, then the cells actually get sick and can die. But what's very interesting is if you have sick cells, do you have to change the cell? And the answer is no. What you have to do is change the environment. And so the new understanding of how cells work is also the way people work. And that is, rather than being genetic robots, our mind interprets the environment just the way the cell's brain interprets the environment. And our mind can adjust our genes and adjust our health and adjust our behavior. So rather than focusing on the genes as what controls life, we now have to recognize that our brain and our mind, which sees the environment, is sending information to the cells and adjusting the genetics. So we could have a very healthy genetic genome when we come into our lives. But by the way we live our lives, we can take a healthy gene and alter it to make cancer, or to make heart disease, or to create diabetes. So the problem is, if the genes didn't create heart disease and diabetes and all that, what did? And the answer is the way we responded to the world. When we understand that, then rather than trying to change the genes and change the biology and change the chemistry, we learn, no, to be healthy, we learn how to change the environment. So this makes us more powerful, because the original belief that most people believe genes control their lives, well, they didn't pick the genes, they can't change the genes, and therefore, if genes control your life and you didn't pick them and you can't change them, then you're a victim of your heredity, the genes that were passed down to your family. And then once we believe we are victims, we become powerless, and we say, oh, I need someone to help fix me. When it turns out, we now know, no, the genes didn't control that. It's our experiences and our perceptions and our beliefs about life that control the genes. And when you'll know that, then you say, well, then what I need to do to change my life is change my belief? And the answer is yes. And then why is that important? Because, well, now you are free to control your life. You're not a victim of your life, you're a master. And this becomes the most exciting part, because all these years, the last 100 or so years, we bought into that somebody else must fix me. Now the new science says if you understand how it works, you fix yourself. And then you become very powerful, because you can change your beliefs and you can change your mind. And every time you do that, you change your genetics and your biology. And so we go into the future not being a victim, but being more powerful and controlling our lives. And that's the release that we need from the imprisonment of a belief that we are victims.